Hey everyone, it's Justin. Thank you for watching and welcome to my house. It's time for another ServiceNow Store highlights video. That's SSH version 09292023. We are coming off the release of Vancouver last week, and so we see a little spike in our applications here. 113 new or updated applications in this episode. Let's take a look at the breakdown. We'll just group this by category and filter on that latest episode there, 9/29/2023. And we've got for you 7 compatibility updates, 71 fixes, most from the team at ServiceNow, 14 highlights, 12 minor updates, 4 new releases, and 5 release notes fails. Let's jump right into what that looks like. Let's hit those release notes fails real quick. Career assessment, guardrails, learning, predictive metric intelligence, and UI components for customer portals. All were release note fails. If you haven't seen the show before, a release note fail means that the release notes failed us. We don't know what changed, if there's anything new, if there's anything fixed, if there's anything broken in the release. It just got updated. It's a new version, and I have no other details to share with you. So that's a fail in my book. We also had 7 compatibility updates. These were compatibility updates to Utah or Vancouver. Apptio, application total cost of ownership, or TCO, asset track scoreboard, EGD activities, EGD core, ERP canvas, ERP customization mining, and service connector all had compatibility updates. So if you're waiting on one of those, go check them out. There were also 71 fixes. Now, I am not going to read these to you. I'm going to scroll through them as I talk. Bunch of fixes. A lot of them, I'd say majority of them, were ServiceNow spokes getting a fix related to an attribute on the application saying that it's licensable. So you'll see as I scroll, there's lots and lots of spokes that got updates, but there were also other fixes, minor fixes, or 3 or 4 fixes that they were just making sure everything was, I'm guessing, working after that GA or the early access release of Vancouver, and then GA was last week. So a lot of the ServiceNow apps got fixes last week. It was actually on 9/20/2023 that most of these fixes were released. So I will include a link down below in the description. I'll scroll it underneath my head as well, so you can see how you can get a full list of these. I post them on my blog every week. You can go and see all these different categories. You can click on the application and it'll take you to the ServiceNow store. So if you haven't checked that already, you probably should. It should be very helpful in finding what you need. So let's go back to our groupings there. Let's hide our filter and go ahead and group this by category. So that was 71 fixes, and you're welcome for not reading all those to you. Minor updates, there were 12 of those. Info, BIP, Notify, Logic Monitor, Incident Management Integration, Performance Analytics Content Pack for Agile 2.0 and for Essential Safe, Qualtrics Connection Manager, SAP Ariba Spoke, Commerce Cloud Spoke, Concur Spoke, Fieldglass Spoke, Scrum Common, Service Portal Dashboards, and Wiz integration for configuration compliance. So all those had minor updates, meaning like it was just, hey, there's this change, or this a new authentication template or something like that for those spokes. I think that's what that was. So 12 of those, and that brings us to our new releases. So let's check out our new releases. We'll hide this attachment window. And we'll start off first with Apptio. Service total cost of ownership was a new release from the team at Apptio, using world-class ITFM cost modeling engine integrated with ServiceNow data. Let's check out those key features. Powered by ServiceNow's CSDM and Apptio's TBM Unified Model, or ATUM, it includes the following key features: seamless integration into DPM. I assume that's Digital Portfolio Management, as you can see there. Consumptive GL-driven cost model, bi-directional data transfer, I guess between ServiceNow and Apptio, and scalable to meet your needs are the key features for that. Here's a infographic, I guess, of showing ServiceNow's discovery, reporting, and dashboards integrated with Apptio's relational and operational data and their consumptive cost model. Here is a look at the TCO table in ServiceNow. This is the digital portfolio management workspace showing, looks like financial management aggregated costs. I'm assuming it's FM financial management for the networking portfolio. No, this is the Walcart service portfolio showing networking. I'm not sure, networking category. That's a category showing subscribers and showing the aggregated cost. Here's the integrated. Okay, so it's just these 3 screenshots. So that's it for Apptio Service Total Cost of Ownership from Apptio Inc. Next on our list of new releases, Contracts Core from ServiceNow enables effective management of clauses, clause variations, and Word document templates. Key features: create and manage Microsoft Word contract templates, clause management to effectively manage a library of clause variations, and email reminder configurations for expiring contracts. Let's take a look at their screenshots. First up is adding content controls Word document template is what the description says. It looks like someone's editing the content control properties there in Microsoft Word. Here is a Word template for an NDA or non-disclosure agreement for a global template. Here is a clause showing the non-disclosure clause in an NDA. Looks like there are clause variations down there below. And what's up next? Contract template rule. So this would be the India rule, it looks like. So if the country is India, it's applying this particular rule to that. And then back to the adding content controls to the Word template. So that's what's new from the team at ServiceNow for Contracts Core. Up next, Service Graph Connector for RedSeal. Cloud resource and network device reconciliation. Key features here: adds network devices to ServiceNow's network gear table to provide complete visibility of the inventory. Adds location information to ServiceNow to list how it is connected in the network topology. Let's take a look at their screenshots. We've got a guided setup screenshot, a picture of network gear in ServiceNow, and here is the RedSeal attributes for a configuration item. Looks like a branch Montreal, and then some kind of description showing ID, location, and a repository timestamp, and then we're back to the guided setup. So that's what's new from the team at RedSeal. And last on our new releases, ServiceNow Legal Contracts enables you to submit, review, finalize, and manage legal contract requests. Legal department can manage and process these submitted legal requests to contracts from a centralized location. There was a contract application before. I think it was Simple Contracts. So I don't know if this replaces that or if this is in addition to that. But it is new. You can see version 1.0.8 that's popped into the store over the past week or since our last episode. And the key features for this one: contract redlining and reviews with Microsoft Word, request ad hoc approvals, support e-signature through DocuSign and Adobe Sign or wet signatures, associate relationships between parent and child legal contract, email reminders for expiring contracts for timely action, and integration with external storage providers such as Google Drive and Microsoft OneDrive to store revisions and finalized contract documents. Let's take a look at their screenshots. First is the new request for a non-disclosure agreement in the service portal, or actually that says the Legal Counsel Center is where they were for requesting that. It looks like service portal, but it says Legal Counsel Center. Here is the Legal Counsel Center showing a contract and all the details associated with that contract. And I guess there's the third-party contract review, so there's a new request there. Here is the order form for APC legal contract requests, and back to the non-disclosure agreement. So 2 types of contracts there in the screenshots, and that's what's new from ServiceNow Legal Contracts, and that's our new releases. So that leaves us with our highlights. Let's get to those highlights. First on our list, BlackBerry AtHoc, ATHOC, I noticed. This one was updated version 2.0.16, and in this version they added automated logs purging / deletion mechanism for sent alerts, Diagnostic 1 and Diagnostic 2 table. They fixed an issue of endless retries for failed alerts while publishing or sending the alert, and they fixed a minor issue for a cancel button in the settings page. Next on our list of highlights is the CyberArk EPM plugin manual request, updated to version 1.4.4, and in this one they updated the stability for the plugin, improved criteria for duplicate request processing, and fixed wait method and updated business rule for creating policy to change to close complete. Next on our list, Delinea Credential Resolver was updated to version number 4.4.1, and in this version they now support SNMP v3 credentials. Validation has been added to the Delinea Credential Resolver for the Secret Saver, added password encryption utility when configuring the credential in the config.xml file, tested and validated for the Vancouver release, and removed the dependency on Windows Credential Manager for encryption of the cached data. Next on the list, discovery and service mapping patterns from ServiceNow. I think this was related to Vancouver. They've updated to version 1.8.0, and I can't possibly read all this to you and maintain my voice, but notice there are some new patterns for those items there. They've changed some items, which you can see here. And if we scroll down to the fixes there, actually it takes up the whole screen. Bunches and bunches of fixes contained in this one, and no removals. The removal section is empty. So if you're using Discovery from ServiceNow, you might want to check out this big update to version 1.8.0 for the discovery and service mapping patterns from ServiceNow. Next on our list is going to be document intelligence, also from ServiceNow. It was updated to version 3.1.1, and in this version they've added document extraction and document classifier, and they fixed the localization of the DocIntel workspace in languages other than English, and fixed a number of small UI UX issues. Autofill mode now correctly populates values. Next is going to be document intelligence admin, also from ServiceNow, updated version 2.1.1, and they've added the ability to configure new field types: date, integer, decimal, float in your use cases. Next is going to be instance health. Again, also from ServiceNow. No, it's not from ServiceNow. This is from Advania. I can't pronounce the words. But they've updated to version 6.1.1. And in this version for Vancouver, which you can see there at the top, they've added new workspace reports and analysis, 10 new checks, and global utility. Integrations common for CMDB was updated to version 2.11.0, and ServiceNow in this version added the enhanced data dictionary for missing sections of the model, and enhanced the hardware cleansing operation to take a model number also as an input. Next on our list, New Lab Resource Manager was updated to version number 1.2.3. I like that version, 1.2.3. And in this version, they've added some resource calendar improvements and solved a bug. You can read there what all those resource calendar improvements were, and the bug was related to views without resources. Views no longer duplicate events related to multiple equipment personas. So it looks like a good chunk of new functionality or improvements around the resource calendar for New Lab's Resource Manager. Next up is going to be SailPoint IDN for Service Catalog, updated to version 3, and in this version they have added comments field updates, sunset date field updates, ability to hide and /reorder search output tabs, approval flexibility improvements, and usability updates. You can see very thorough documentation here on what's new in this version, but if you're using this, you may want to take a look at these new capabilities. Next up, Service Graph Connector for Microsoft SCCM was updated to version 3.4.0, and in this one they introduced support for Common Connection Framework, implemented the cleanse serial number operation for serial numbers, and they tuned the SQL query in the Service Graph Connector for SCCM software data source for the last used software. Also from ServiceNow, the Service Graph Connector for Observability Dynatrace was updated to version of 1.8.0. They've also added support for the Common Connection Framework, and they fixed a connection alias sysID parameter in flow designer actions, relationship between the process group and calculated services, mapped the correct source native key in the class mapping for configuration item 2-2 service, populated metric data in a multi-instance setup, and the impact rule will not be created if it doesn't exist in the service. Next is the Workday HR Spoke, one of the few spokes that made it to the highlights, updated version 2.1.0. They fixed missing report view ACLs on all tables, fixed the flows configured to run as system, and importantly here, added 6 new actions, and that's why they're in the highlights. 6 new actions, everybody. That seemed important to include in our highlights. And last on our list of highlights, Zscaler Digital Experience was updated to version 3.0.1, and this contains integrations to show ZDX summary, alert impact, and impacted user sections in an incident forum. And that's it. That's our entire episode. Let's take a look at the recap. We had 4 new releases, 14 highlights, 7 compatibility updates, 12 minor updates, 71 fixes, again, most of those from ServiceNow prior to or with the release of Vancouver general availability, and 5 release notes fails. I hope you found this video helpful. If you did, please like, please subscribe, or share it with somebody who you think might be interested in what got updated in the ServiceNow store. And until next time, don't forget to always be learning.